That competes with a lot of $50 bottles and $60 bottles at this point.
And it's $27.
It's $26.
Are you sure?
Sure.
It wasn't mislabeled or something? And
Nope.
You just what is it, benchmark?
Benchmark bonded. So it's the 4-year 100 proof.
Dude, this one's pretty good too. It has that heat, and then it warms the esophagus as it goes down.
Yeah, you're gonna get. I don't get any of that on this. It's not hot enough, but on that you're gonna get that.
Yeah, like that.
Is it Baker's? Yeah, Baker's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that
Baker's.
107.
Baker's is a little warm. Baker's is a good fall.
I was so
winter.
disappointed that I walked right by that 13 and didn't even think about it. Now I'm seeing all the reviews on it and fucking kicking myself in the ass.
It's just because you see Baker so much, you just didn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like,
And it's just a function of this market. It's one of the whiskeys that's not available other places. It's available in this market all the time.
oh,
So I just didn't even register.
Yeah.
I didn't even think I saw the 13 on it.
You just saw Baker's.
I
and
just
said,
saw
okay.
Baker's and
like,
moved on.
You just saw the bottle, then you saw some reviews, and you went, wait a minute, I
Did
just
it
saw
look
that
the
bottle.
same?
Yeah, I went, shit. I was staring right at that bottle.
Son of a bitch.
What are you going to
Feel
do?
like a fool.
I mean, does it look a lot like a lot of the bottles that they already do?
Looks just like that. Slightly different color on the label. And someone put it up against the Jack 12, and they're like, the Jack 12 is sweeter. The Baker's has a more savory note to it.
Oh.
And that's my jam in whiskey. It's like,
Yeah, and I mean, the 12 wasn't that good.
I like the 10 better.
Yeah,
and I think it's because the 10 has the savory notes in the 10 are better. The savory notes in the 12 are slightly off, like a little too aged.
Aged.
Yeah.
Aged?
Aged.
Aged.
Why you gotta make up words on the podcast? Why do
I
you feel
didn't make up the
this
word
is not
aged.
Lane's platform to make up words, okay?
Isn't it made up though? Aged?
No, it's not made up.
aged?
It's
We
a-
know aged.
Aged, yeah, aged is a word.
Aged is the word. Aged.
Yeah,
Not so much.
I'm fairly certain aged is how aged was pronounced 400 years ago.
Oh,
across
in
the
ye
pond.
olden times.
Yes.
The olden
with
times.
your pit fruits and stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
and your fucking broils and broths and stuff like that.
Aged.
Aged.
This is just abuse at this point.
Hey, we get abused every time we make up a
Doesn't feel
word.
abused, does I?
I didn't make up the word. You guys actually make up words.
I
I do
challenge
not.
you, sir, to a duel. You and your aged words.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, put the camera on you because the faces are amazing.
What faces do I make?
Yeah,
These ones?
yeah, that one right there.
Disapproval.
Oh my God!
Angry disapproval.
You're caught up on Ahsoka.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Are my up to really?
Wasn't bad.
Really?
You have expectations. I don't.
He's given up
Even
on
without
the expectations.
expectations,
No,
I don't have any
you-
expectations. I expect it to be terrible.
Yeah, but it's like it surprises you when it is.
She
Like you're like, how could they make it any more terrible? They've already hit rock bottom. It can't get any terrible than
Really?
rock bottom.
And boom, there it is.
what was
It wasn't
she
bad.
rode from one galaxy to another in a whale's mouth. Star Trek
Honestly-
thievery aside,
Honestly, not the weirdest thing I've seen.
not the weirdest thing I've seen in sci-fi.
I mean, they parked the Millennium Falcon in a worm.
That is
If
true.
we're being fair.
Yeah, but there was something okay about that.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't know they were parking in
okay.
a worm.
Wait a minute now. Parking in a worm is fine. Using worm for celestial travel, a little outside the wheelhouse for sci-fi.
Yeah.
Is that what we're going with?
100%. For Star Wars sci-fi, I saw someone that said it would be perfect for manga.
So Star Wars
Yeah.
should be happy that Kirk and Spock saved the whales so that they could use them to travel through space.
No, because they would have saved the whales long after that happened.
No, it's before.
No, it's after.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, 'cause
a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Well, yeah, but we don't actually know what galaxy that is.
They saved the whales a long time ago
multiverse whales.
in a year called 1984.
Yes. Well, it's close to.
Yeah, whatever.
But still.
85.
Yeah, that's our time. That could have been a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Well, it was for you two.
1985?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It's a totally different era. I don't remember 85, really. It's kind of a blur. I feel like I was a fish salesman in that era.
A fish salesman.
Yes. Door-to-door fish sales? No, you're not familiar with the door
Driving the
fish
Swans
salesman.
truck.
The Swans dude does try to get you to buy salmon.
He's-
That's fair. He really does. He tries to push the fish every time.
I have never encountered the Swan salesman.
They drive
Really?
by my house
Oh,
once
man.
a month.
I've seen them. I know they exist. Never had one stop at a place that I live
Really?
Well,
Yes.
that's
Wow.
at any point.
They don't stop at my house anymore. They stop right when I'm outside and they say, "Hey, we got a deal going on." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what is it?" He's like, "Oh, we got this many steaks for this price." I'm like, "Oh, I got a freezer full already."
No, that's the random steak dude. Dude, he's found us twice.
Who are
have
these
you
people?
bought
I don't know. Look, I don't know how Logan found us. It's twice now. Logan's been sucking.
Logan
this, okay?
bought something from him. Yeah, that's how that happened.
We still have steaks in the freezer. From
Logan
this guy.
probably chased him down the first time.
No, it's
Nope.
Logan.
Yep.
Logan doesn't
So the-
chase people down.
For steak?
He's the most anti person in the world.
For steak.
Antisocial,
No,
right?
see, because here's the thing. So this guy knocks on the door, and he's like, "Hey, I'm from this farm over in Sparks, and we do all this home distribution stuff." And it's like you buy a package, right? So you buy like a certain amount of steaks, and you get like chicken or seafood. So the first time we bought steaks and chops and stuff, we had lobster tails and shrimp and all this stuff that came with it. This time, this guy was peddling chicken with his steaks. So we got a whole bunch of steaks and a whole bunch of chicken. But twice this guy has found us. I'm like, how the fuck does this guy keep finding us?
Because he found you. He looped you in. You're the
Apparently,
suckers.
we're in now. Yeah, it's a good deal, though.
You know, if those guys were smart,
Sometimes they are, but
they
like, how was the taste?
oh, dude, this stuff is good.
it's probably local meat. It's probably pretty good steak.
It's all local.
Is it dry aged at all?
No, I wish.
I'm surprised they don't have dry aged on the truck.
I would. Oh,
You should ask.
What they should do the Cinnabon thing, except with the smell of barbecue and bacon fat.
You know, you get a lot of people with that.
like,
Like emanating randomly from the truck.
you know how many people would chase that motherfucker down? You can't just loft steaky smell in the air and expect a riot not to follow.
It's the whole point.
Like,
That's what you need.
you're like,
You want to up sales, you get that smell going.
what is that smell? And you're like, the steak truck's in the
You, would,
truck.
you wouldn't have to listen.
You get
If
a
it was
diffuser.
strong enough, when they're knocking on the door, by the time you open the door, they don't have to say anything. They're just like, yes.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, yes.
Where do I sign?
Those scent diffusers
Yeah.
as they drive by, you just wafting through the
that.
town.
It's like that sausage. That dude. You guys have got to go to that sausage place.
I keep meaning to, but
It is when you walk in there. You're
Just that
like,
good.
oh my god! You just smell spices and.
Have you gotten the
meat.
knockwurst yet?
No, I was gonna. I went back for Andouille's.
Andouille?
Yeah. Really.
that andouille
You're
sausage.
You're making up words again.
It's andouille sausage.
It's andouille, boy.
It is not.
They actually say andouille.
Andouille.
Do they?
Yeah.
It's andouille.
So how come everyone I know has been pronouncing it andouille for my entire life,
Well, all the-
including like the food channel?
What food channel?
All the people from
The Food
Louisiana
Network.
that I've met call it andouille.
It's andouille.
How do they pronounce it? Isn't it French? Is it French or?
I believe so.
Look, I'm just you know what?
They got a mixed language down there, you know,
Al-
redneck and
Yeah,
Alton
Creole.
Brown.
It's Creole.
Creole.
Alton Brown
Exactly,
says
redneck and
andouille.
French.
Really?
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay says andouille.
I don't think he does.
Yes, he does.
Well, he's British. He doesn't know how to pronounce anything.
Now we're using
Oh,
that.
now we just lost all of the British subscribers. Thank you. For
Do we
ruining
have
it.
one?
It's just red, white, and blue. America. I'm gonna post an American flag and some glasses behind your back.
Hey, listen. If Clarkson can say we don't know how to pronounce aluminium, and we can't win a war without their help, I can say they don't know how to pronounce other words.
We can say aluminium.
And when have we not? When have we needed their help?
Yeah.
This is the irony of the statement.
I know.
Kevin.
Oh, it's a metal.
Work with
It's
us
a
here.
metal joke. I get it. Aluminium, irony. I got you.
Gotcha.
It's a metal thing. My bad. Warn us, all right? That's some copper level stuff you got going on over there.
See, because we did that
That
once.
doesn't even make sense.
What?
It's
Don't bronze this, all right? Just
not gonna just make.
I'll give you some nickel, all right?
I'll give you a nickel. That would have worked. The first of the three.
I don't need your 2 copper pennies. Thank you.
When was the last time you saw a real copper penny?
It's not worth 2 cents, that's for sure.
It is.
No, it's worth more than that. Isn't
Whoa.
it? Isn't it 3 cents now?
An actual copper penny?
Yeah, it's.
Well, I don't think they've made them in 40 years, 50
Yeah.
years. Well, no. They stopped making copper pennies in World War II.
No, it's just
Yeah.
copper plate now.
That's
Yeah,
why,
it's-
that's why I
it's
think
a
real
zinc
isn't-
sandwich,
isn't
right?
Real
Yeah.
copper penny worth 3 cents?
I think a real copper penny is probably worth about $30.
Oh shit! I shouldn't be melting those down then.
It's probably worth about 3 cents of
You mean
copper.
I can give up my life of crime of stealing catalytic converters for these 2 pennies? Oh, genius.
All right, what else you guys got going on? Oh, are we doing that? We're doing this, right?
Yeah.
I figured.
Bro,
Where we going?
we've been going for a while.
Yeah,
Didn't I give you the sign?
you did.
Okay.
I looked down at it and was like, oh, it's on. We were just bullshitting.
You were just floating. You're like, we're good. We're fucking cares.
That's what we do.
He's like, you can say anything you want. You can curse and everything because when you yell in the woods, ain't nobody here to hear you anyway.
Hopefully Casey did the little intro laser thing long ago.
Was I supposed to have that?
I don't know. You do the editing.
And that's where it's at right there.
Who made that decision? I'm sure I think I didn't edit it in last time because there was no place for it. But
So, F1. Did I tell you how many points I got back? It was
no.
actually more than that.
Oh no, you didn't tell me that. You just said you won points. You didn't tell me how many.
I got
points you
40
won.
points on him.
Holy
Nice.
shit!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Apparently, Stroll is out.
Out. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. I saw there was going to be a hospital report, but I didn't read it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're speculating now on who drives for Japan.
What are their options?
Well, I mean they have a reserve driver, but
I mean, I don't know his name.
there was it's Dorogov.
Oh, yeah.
But the what's his name? The technical director or whatever posted. He was like, Lance Stroll's out for Japan," and then it was like then his post got deleted, and so now everyone's speculating that maybe Sebastian Vettel will come back and drive for the Japanese race that he missed that he really wanted to, and everyone's like, "Please make this happen."
That might work out for...
Please make Sebastian Vettel drive with Fernando Alonso for Aston Martin in Japan. We want to see that.
That might work out for my competitor.
Yeah, that might work out actually. Yeah, but
He can gain some points.
I'm excited now. I'm like, what? Sebastian Vettel come back? Yes. Although apparently he's sailing somewhere right now, so he might not be.
Oh.
So I'm not big into F1 like you guys because I don't get to watch it as much. I will say I saw a video though of it was like all of Red Bull's vehicles, so like their sports bike, the racing one.
It's the just came out recently. It is a competition between all of the Red Bull motor vehicles.
Did you see that electric van just fucking take off?
Yes, the van. I love that it went from they were in the rally car, and the guy in the rally car goes, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go get a real vehicle." And he comes back and he's just in this van, and the dude just sitting in the van. And you look at the van is the most out of place thing in the line because it's like the van at the end, and it's the rally vehicle for Red Bull, and then it's like their street racing vehicle, and then it's the electric or it's the GP bike,
Yeah.
and then it's the F1 car.
So what do you think won? Took the first place?
What's the distance?
I think it was quarter mile.
I think they did a quarter mile or a half mile.
I mean, electric cars, if they're powered right, are good for, depending on the car, up to a quarter mile.
So the sports bike took first place.
The GP bike slaughters.
Oh, yeah.
In the first two, that dude just gets on
Because
it.
he could take off right away.
Oh, those
Yeah.
bikes, even through the entire course, we're talking about tenths of a second slower than F1 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, he makes the F1 car look like a joke.
Looks like
Oh,
a
and
standard.
straight acceleration because they don't weigh anything.
Yeah.
Well, but the F1 car has so much power, it gets pure wheel spin.
Oh, yeah?
So an F1 car needs a running start
Yeah.
because it's got so much wheel spin and power. So he's just burning up rubber. He wins second place, but,
He didn't make second place.
not the last time because that electric van almost took
Yeah.
the fucking bike. It's the videos. I'll show you the video later. It's
That electric
stupid.
van, it's about a half a length car quicker than the F1 car that they had.
Yeah.
And just watching it, I'm like, holy shit.
That's what I'm saying. Those electric cars are really powerful through a quarter mile.
Yeah, the setup is funny though, just because the two guys who are like narrating the whole time, they take turns in the rally car, and they're like, yeah, all right, this is stupid. We need a real car. And then you just see them in the van. You're like, wait a minute,
What is that?
what? It's the Top Gear thing. What
Yeah.
kind of van is that?
But the acceleration on a MotoGP bike is
Yeah.
The van took a little while to
out of
catch
hand.
up. But then as soon as it got to the point, it just passed it.
that bike just fucking takes off.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, ooh, man. But
got work to do.
when they're up to speed, you realize you'd want to be sitting in the Formula One car.
Oh, it's speed.
Not on the two wheels of that bike. Like
Yeah.
no. I want the four wheels. I've seen that thing crash into a wall, and you're fine. If you're crashing that bike, there's nothing there to protect you except for the helmet and the suit.
You're pushing the bike away
Yeah,
and just sliding it out.
yeah.
I mean, if you're
Into a
crashing
wall.
on that bike and you're hitting a wall, I don't know, squirrel suit.
Forget that.
I'm pretty sure they're willing to.
So what
do
about
it.
those bikes that'll do? What's the land speed record on a bike at this point?
Do they still do that out at the?
I'm sure
the
they do.
flats
They're
there?
crazy out
I
there.
think it's been a while since
I
they've done
can
it.
Find out.
On that jet bike
Yeah,
thing.
because they had a jet bike out there, but then they had that rocket car at that one point.
Well, yeah,
and
but
Yeah.
that's
the
always fun to watch.
they differentiate the vehicles by type, right?
Yeah. No, they do. It's
Fastest-
not one. It's not one vehicle for like. I'm sure at some point they're like, "This is the fastest car we've had out here," but
This is the fastest car. This is the fastest.
I know
bike.
there's a bike that'll do 300 miles an hour.
There's
Oh, yeah.
reportedly it's 420.
That would be
It's-
terrifying.
Well,
I don't know if I'd sit on that.
you wouldn't want to.
I mean, I kind of want to, but I don't think I would.
It's because it's the. Oh yeah, it's that bike.
Is it the one with the jet engine?
No, it's the one that's powered by a V10.
yeah.
No, yeah.
Is
It's
it the
the-
4 wheels? It's barely
Yeah,
a
it's
bike,
barely
but
a
they're married
bike.
together.
Yes, it's the Dodge Tomahawk.
Yeah,
I want to say that's a Viper motor
probably is.
that's been modified to
So
be on
it's
a
really not
motors-
a bike. It's a seat on a
Yeah.
motor.
Yeah, it's let's see here. So yeah.
You're just driving straight motor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one does a top speed of 676 kilometers, which is 420 miles per hour.
But you need to go that fast to cool the engine off.
You also need about twice that to slow it the fuck down because it's V10 motor. It weighs a bajillion pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kawasaki Ninja H2R has a record of 400 kilometers. And the
Is that like 260,
2017
270?
MTT 420RR did 440 kilometers.
That's so fast on a bike.
That's just ridiculous.
That's terrifying speeds at that point.
That's-
Like I hit 120 on the Harley, and I find that already too fast.
That's one of those like you put your pinky up and it like turns half the freaking car, right?
You're
Like,
like,
or the
"All
bike, right? You're just like, oh god, there's
Time
my
to make a
pinky.
left turn.
I don't know.
Oh.
I do guys that stood up at 2 bills on a bike to slow themselves down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Parachute maybe.
And that takes a lot of like strength to hold on when you.
Yeah. The dude that I knew that did it was a fire plug.
I can believe it.
Little 5'7" fire plug.
He's holding on for dear life. Legs fly out. You're just like flying like a kite.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was also like he did stunts. He had a bike specifically set up for race week at Laguna Seca. He did all the things on a bike.
He sounds like my dad's buddy. My dad's buddy was crazy.
Well, but you get the guys that are around here like, yeah, I've had my bike up to 200 miles an hour. I'm like, on these roads, you're crazy.
Where?
Right?
Yeah. Not
Okay,
these
great,
shit
great.
roads.
Like these roads aren't manicured at all.
Nope.
You catch anything wrong.
Listen, I did the 120 on Foothill Road, and that's already sketchy because I don't trust that road.
Yeah.
Because we have the deer, and not to mention, they did clean it up because there was potholes for a little while.
Oh yeah, I mean, if I was gonna do that on a bike, if I was gonna go up to like 200 miles an hour, I would scout the road first.
No, I don't.
or find a runway.
I drive that road enough that I figured I'm like I'll be okay.
Yeah.
That MTT is the Rolls-Royce gas turbine engine. So somebody was like, yeah, gas turbine engine, cool. And somebody else went, V10, ha ha ha, naturally aspirated.
Listen.
the scary part is that V10, you could probably put a supercharger on. and make it go
I'm
faster.
not a huge fan of Dodge generally.
Don't give
That's
me that
fair.
idea.
However, if the goal is to cram as much horsepower as you can under something that doesn't need it, they're particularly good at it.
Dodge
Well,
is
yeah.
definitely the company to go.
They're like, oh,
Hold my beer.
hey, you know what we could do to that Grand Cherokee over there?
Yeah.
We could defile it in all sorts of ways.
Yes.
We'll rip
Also, we
this
put an
out, put
SRT
this
in
in
it.
here.
You know, just because we could.
The Trackhawk, is that what that one's called?
There's the
Yeah.
Trackhawk.
And that one has the SRT motor and tranny in it.
It's like 1,100 horsepower or something stupid.
Yeah. In a fucking cheap.
I mean, I'd be willing to drive that Jeep. Not gonna lie.
I would, dude. Grand Cherokees are not great handling vehicles.
Yeah, that's a heavy girl.
Yeah.
Like that's already 3,000 pounds of steel and car before you're putting in a
Which is why they had to put in
big
so
motor.
much muscle behind it.
Yeah, yeah. It does take a while for it to get up to speed.
They do. I will say, even with the upgraded motors in the Grand Cherokee, they're kind of sluggish. Mm-hmm. The motor's like, oh god, I'm working for this one.
Yeah. Holy shit. Now
Couldn't
the
you guys
Hellcat on the other
Put
hand.
me in something smaller.
The Hellcat's pretty cool. That one. I like.
Because it was the Hellcat, and then what was the next one? The Dodge Demon.
No, the Demon's the package you put on the Hellcat
Okay.
Yeah,
to make it
with the different
next-
wheels, and
Yeah,
you swap out
it's
the everything.
The crate, the crate shows up, and basically it's like Bob the Builder. You know,
The crate's an extra what? 20 grand.
it's like 30. It's like 30 grand worth of parts you throw on, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, now it's a Demon, and you're like, ah,
Now
No.
it's not road legal.
Don't you also have to pull something out and turn a key to change the?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. The one I always enjoy was seeing the Corvettes. When you buy them fresh, because you have to put a certain amount of mileage on them before the now it's the digital readout changes.
Yeah.
And the rev limiter changes, and it's this cool. Like you can Google it. All people do it now all the time, but it's like you get to like, I think it's 1,000 miles on a Corvette, and then all of a sudden the display just changes, and like the rest of the car gets unlocked basically, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute,
What just happened?
What did this just do? And it's like, you're like, whoa, I've got a whole extra 300 horsepower I wasn't using for the last 1,000 miles. What the fuck?
See, I've been looking at the new Corvettes too because they look nice.
the Ferraris.
Yeah. The
Ameri-
American Ferrari?
The Amerirari. That's
Yeah.
going on.
The Mari.
Just don't buy it in that obnoxious yellow color. Oh my!
I've still been
God.
driving with people, and one of them comes the other way, and they're like, "Is that a Ferrari?" I'm like, "That's a Corvette."
That's Corvette. At this point now, I'm like, that's Corvette.
Yeah.
And then I saw it because when the car event shows up,
Hot
the-
August.
yeah, people start to bring out the nice cars. They start to show up,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, I was like, oh, Corvette. And I was like, what? Wait, oh, Ferrari. Ooh, almost got me there.
So I was driving down the road yesterday or the day before, and I drove by a 52 Corvette, then a 66, then a 68, and it was like a Corvette thing going on.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Those guys travel in packs.
I like the 52 and the 66 for sure.
Why did I think the first Corvette was after 52?
I don't know.
You think of the Stingray?
No, I didn't think so.
Oh, okay.
Because this one had like more rounded.
It's
Yeah, but I
the
thought it was
round-
like
the round
53 and a
two-seater,
half or something.
right? It's the roundish two-seater.
I could be wrong. I just, for whatever reason, that's the number that was stuck in my head. I'm not a Corvette guy, so I'm just making shit up. But
I'm not either, as much.
That's a whole weird level of car enthusiasm I don't understand.
oh, I had a
Yeah.
professor in undergrad that was a Corvette guy, and he had, I don't know, 16 of them, 17 of them. He had lifts in his garage.
Because I thought the Mustang was the only one that did the half year with the 64, the 64 and a half, and then it went to a 65 fastback. Because the 64 and a half still had the generator in it and this weird lip on the front end.
Okay.
I know this because the guy that had a 64 and a half was trying to buy a 64 and a half, and it was a 65 that the guy said was his,
Oh,
kept pissing him off.
the first Chevy Corvette is 53.
53? I was way off
Yeah,
by a whole year.
you're
I just-
forgiven. You're forgiven.
That's okay. I'm not a Corvette guy. I like Dodge.
I honestly thought the half was just because they released them back when they actually cared about model year release dates. They released them late in the year. Like they didn't make the
I think
scheduled
you're probably
release.
right.
Yeah, and then I think it too was like, wasn't it the half years are when like car production was really going, so you had to put out a new car within the half year to like beat Ford. 'Cause
Yeah,
the Ford
maybe.
Mustang would come out, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, we're behind. Now wait, the 53 and a half Chevrolet Corvette has this new Chrome Max, and you're like, oh, I gotta get the new one.
That makes sense.
Let's go save our $5,000 to go buy this car, and you just,
And then as soon as you buy that car,
Yeah,
Ford
the new
Mustang
Ford
comes out.
Mustang came out, and you went, "You bastards!"
I know one of my buddy's dads got one of the first years they made as soon as he got back from Korea,
Oh,
as soon as he was discharged. And in some ridiculously short period of time, not like driving it off the lot, but might as well have been. Like in the first couple of months,
yeah.
somebody blew a light and just destroyed it. And he missed it. So when his wife inherited a bunch of money from her mom when she passed away, and she bought him the same model year that he had when he got out of Korea.
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That
was
la-
a sexy car.
Didn't last longer than
I
a
don't.
couple months.
I don't like
He
the
still got it as
Corvette.
far as I know.
I don't like the Corvette. I do like the Bel Air.
Yeah?
Okay.
I don't know what it is about the Bel Air, but I just every time I see one of those, I go, "That's a cool car."
Well, but that's why even then, some people liked one over the other.
Yeah,
It was...
See, and I like the Charger. It was one of those things. I like the later Charger. The 66 and 67 were fastback styles, where it pushed so much power in the year 66. 67, they started putting a spoiler on the back to try and keep the rear end down.
my buddy sent me pictures of his 69 before I saw it in person.
69.
69 Charger.
Yeah. And I like the pictures of it. But then you stand next to it and
And
you
it's a
realize that it's like
boat.
45 feet long.
Yes.
And you're like, what the
Yeah,
f-
it's a
is the
boat.
point of
And I
this?
still like it.
I don't. It's so big.
Because, like,
Yeah.
my infatuation probably started with Dukes of Hazzard for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say it's definitely Dukes of Hazzard thing.
Dukes of Hazzard. 1970 Charger, though, that came back in the Fast and the Furious movies.
Yeah.
That was Dom's Charger, and I'm like, I want that
They
Charger.
probably didn't use 69s because they couldn't find one.
Well, yeah, most of them.
They were destroyed.
Yeah, all the ones that they did find
Well, you
on
can
the new remake, they
you
destroyed
can
them.
find them. They're just in parts and mangled, and
Yeah.
they've been bent.
You have to rebuild
My
them.
buddy's Charger, his dad bought brand new.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's been in their family ever since.
Wow.
I mean, it's a sexy car, right? But
It's a boat.
it's completely useless.
Yeah.
It's gigantic.
Didn't you like the 67 Cuda? Isn't that the one that they have in Supernatural?
No, that's an Impala.
That's the Impala
No, Cuda was Nash Bridges.
Nash Bridges.
Yeah, Nash Bridges had a
Yeah.
yellow Barracuda
Yeah.
convertible
Yeah.
because it's Don Johnson. You think Donnie Boy's gonna be anything else
He has had some spectacular cars.
in life and in TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, his life wasn't terribly hard driving those freaking Ferraris they got for free.
I'm still jealous.
Although that's arguably the worst Ferrari.
Yes. You know what's funny though? So yeah, have you've seen the first season of Miami Vice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And the Ferrari is black. You know why it's white in season 2 and onward?
No.
Because the director, Michael Mann, was complaining that the Ferrari in black you couldn't film very well at nighttime.
Oh.
That's fair.
That makes
So
sense.
He complained and told Ferrari, he was like, "Look, I appreciate the cars, but yeah,
I'm gonna need it in a different color."
He was like, "It just doesn't work in black," and they were like, "Oh, okay, what color does work?" He's like, "I don't know. We're just gonna find like a white car or something. We're just gonna replace them." Like, no. We'll paint them for you. So they had like 3 of them shipped back and painted white specifically for Miami Vice.
Do they even make a white Ferrari regularly?
They do offer it in white.
Yeah.
Yes, Ferrari is Ferrari red, Ferrari yellow, black, silver, and white.
And if you paint one, they'll give you a cease and desist letter.
Yes.
How that works, I don't know.
I don't. Dude,
They probably bar you from
the-
buying another one later.
the stories of contract obligations you have to sign to buy a Ferrari, for some of them, are the most ridiculous things I've
Well, I
ever
don't
heard
get
in
that
my
because
life.
there's that one that drives around here that's Carolina blue.
Yes.
Now, admittedly, it's sexy as
It might have been
it's
a secondhand
attractive.
buy.
So it's. I think if you paint it without talking to Ferrari, it's a cease and desist.
yeah.
I think you have to submit
The color.
the color and your VIN number so that they can accurately change their records at Ferrari.
Really?
Yes, they're very specific about this
Okay.
because there are only limited numbers of Ferraris.
Yeah.
Allegedly. You know, there are only 350 Enzos. That's not true. You know, so they keep track of it. But I think if you send them a letter and you say, I'm going to, if you don't paint it but you wrap it,
They're okay with that?
they're okay with that because
'Cause
you're
you can
not
take it off
modifying. Yeah, you can take it back off. You know,
Okay.
and you're okay.
I do like that blue
Some
one.
of those wraps look nice too.
You know, wrapping in the last 10 years has become very popular.
That's
Yeah.
because it's gotten so much
and
better.
Much better. Yeah. The quality on wraps is amazing.
Yeah.
Although you only get about 4 years out of them.
Okay.
That's what they say.
Then you just
You don't
rewrap
get a
it.
whole lot of time out of a paint job, really.
If you think about it, that's true. I wonder how that lasts
Depending
in
on where you're
our
at.
weather. Yeah, like
Sandstorms probably just.
Up
You drive
here-
you drive through one sandstorm on 95.
Well, when I was in Barstow, I got sandstorms daily.
Yeah.
yeah, and how many Ferraris are in Barstow?
One.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Will drove through in whatever 3 cars ago. That first Mini he had,
Yeah.
he drove through a sandstorm
Yeah.
on the way to Vegas.
And sandblast the shit out of it.
yeah.
The window, the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One sandstorm just fucks up everything. And if you're living in Dayton, they get them regularly too.
That's what I hear.
They do once you get out
It's
there.
on, it's on the other side of that hill, basically.
Stead too.
Yeah.
Everything north of Reno.
It sucks for all the pilots.
Not many people flying out of Stead anymore.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. And
Not
you're not
often.
really getting Corvettes for $1 anymore either, so
Yeah.
there's that.
True.
That's the best homage in For All Mankind. I started watching again from the beginning because the new season's coming out.
They all drive
And,
Corvettes.
and in the first episode because it's during the moon landing, and so after the Russians hit the moon first, they go back to NASA, and basically the guy in charge of NASA is like, "Look, Monday morning we're all going to put on a strong face. We're going to go back to work. So you guys take the weekend and do whatever you want to do." And they go, "All right." And they all look at each other and they go, "We're going to the outpost, right?" And they go, "Yeah." And they get to the lobby of the NASA center and they goes, "Last one there buys." And you see like 20 of these pilots run out, and they all run out into different colored Corvettes. They pull out of the parking lot. They just race them down the freeway. And it's like, that's exactly how it was during NASA in the 60s.
I can believe that. Yeah.
Bunch of fighter, because they had that deal. If you were an astronaut, Corvette gave you, the Chevy gave you a Corvette for $1.
well, it wasn't Chevy. It was initially it was one of the dealerships.
Yeah, it was like it was the Cape Canaveral dealership or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, come on down, we'll give you for $1. It's like, oh, what? And then every NASA pilot had one. You're like, you bastards.
So it was your grandfather, right? Or was it your uncle?
That did.
My grandfather.
He did the code, right?
My grandfather.
Your grandfather.
My dad's dad.
His
It's
grandfather.
like he
yeah.
wasn't an astronaut, so he didn't get that deal.
No, he was a programmer. He was a mathematician.
I mean, it would have been great if he had astronaut tagged on too.
I want to say that my grandfather had a Corvette.
Yeah.
He was a pilot, so well, he's a navigator. But you fly the big bird, you get the big car.
Yeah.
No. My grandfather wasn't a pilot. He wrote code.
Yeah, I remember that, and I'm like, maybe he got the deal too.
He got to see some pretty cool shit though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he may have drove a Honda Civic, but he got to see cool stuff.
He got to
Although-
see the inside of Cheyenne Mountain
Yeah,
more than once.
all 28 levels.
Yeah. I don't know what level he was on, but
Well, probably
28,
level
bro.
1 through 4, because 5 through 28 is the SGC.
yeah.
I know what's under there. I know what's under there.
Well, anyway, anything bothering you guys this week?
Bothering? No, I just the Alabama thing made me laugh.
What is the Alabama
Alabama thing.
So Alabama, all right, the problem with the death sentence is they run into the chemicals to all the drugs expired
Yeah,
for
you can do it a lot cheaper.
lethal injection.
Yeah.
And the problem is that they don't make those drugs anymore, apparently. Like apparently we don't make them for lethal injection.
Though I think we were outsourcing that for a long time.
Yeah, so I guess they signed off the approval to kill this guy in Alabama by a new method, which is nitrogen hypoxia.
Okay.
So basically,
You feel like you're breathing, but you're not.
yeah, but isn't nitrogen also laughing gas?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nitrous
you-
oxide is laughing gas.
Oh, it's not just nitrogen. I was thinking because they just went to the Joker and was like, oh, we know how to kill people. Nitrogen, laughing gas. Yeah, apparently that's the new method. And I thought, but you're right, it's nitrous oxide.
I believe
not
so.
nitrogen by itself. Nitrogen's the replacement they use for deep sea diving.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. See, I got those two confused. But apparently that's what they're gonna kill this dude
Was it Utah
for whatever.
that approved the firing squads again? I feel like it's Utah.
Utah, the firing squad never went away. It's just always been an option.
Yeah, it was like a choice. You
Yeah,
could-
Oh, and then
just-
someone finally opted in
No
a
one,
couple
no
years
one
ago.
chose it. They were like, "Why would I?" And then someone was like, "Dude, let's
Do it.
just do it."
You're saving money and it's quick.
If air is to be believed, that's how the motto came around for Nike.
I mean, I think the real problem with the death penalty outside of Texas is that, like in California, they might never kill you.
I thought California was they just couldn't find anybody to flick the switch, and I was like, clearly they're not looking in the right places.
No, no. I mean, there's so many mandatory appeals anyway. It's a super long process.
Is it really?
It actually costs more to put someone to death than it does just to put them in prison for life because of all the mandatory appeal costs.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
In California only, right?
in most states.
In most states.
Yeah,
Well, they only did the chair in what? Florida, Texas, and California, right?
I don't know.
I think that was.
No, that's probably
I think
where
that
But I
was
mean,
the place that
California's
still have
basically
it.
stopped killing people.
Yeah, basically you just live out your life in California, which
Yeah.
that's cool. Whatever.
Always sunny in 75.
Yeah, or you're gonna get stabbed in San Quentin with overpopulation.
Hold on. Disappointed late face. There
I'm
it
just,
is.
I'm just lost at this moment.
He was like, "What does the San Diego weather have to do with being in prison?"
It's always sunny. It's always warm unless you're down in Pelican.
Yeah, not always warm there.
Nope.
Or San Quentin.
What was
Oldest
it? Alcatraz?
oldest prison I think in the California system.
San Quentin.
San Quentin?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. They've been trying to get rid of it for years.
Yeah. It's a pretty nice plot of land.
Yeah, no one will take it. The cleanup costs are immense.
Fair enough.
I feel like a certain academy is going to go there in the future. Don't worry, we'll find that later.
I don't think that was at San Quentin.
No, isn't it across the bay?
Yeah, across the bay
Isn't
on the
it-
inside.
Isn't that all where all the pictures are of Starfleet Academy? Or
Is
from
it?
that angle? I don't know. We were watching the Star Trek, and you went, "Isn't that where San Quentin is?"
Oh yeah, maybe.
And I was like, "No, that's where Starfleet Academy is." You're like, "I'm pretty sure that's where San Quentin is from that angle." And I was like, "Well, it was there." Down
I
the
mean,
road.
listen, if anyone's got the funds to clean it up, it's Space Force.
That's right. Space Force.
I think the only thing that was bugging me was that question that I already posed to you guys. What makes a home a home?
Well, what's
what
your
do you
an-
think makes
what's
a
your
home a
answer?
home?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You answer first.
You
don't-
start.
I don't have one. That's
What do you
the
mean you don't
problem.
have one?
I never feel like I'm home.
Man.
But, like I use that place as basically a place to just go sleep. It doesn't feel like home to me. Like I haven't had.
What about your garage?
I haven't felt like it was home since I was probably like I had a home since I lived with my grandma and like you could smell like tortillas. So I think that's what I'm missing is that smell of home cooked food that
Okay.
she used to do. But since I was a kid, since I lived with her, after that, like bouncing around and everywhere, never really felt like I had a home. And like I only came to that because like in my house, I'm already kind of irritated about it, of course.
Yeah.
But
Ho-
I
home.
sat there and thought about it, and I'm like, I don't know what makes a home.
Well, it might be that it's what makes a home changes from being a kid to, being the adult and having kids in the house.
Fair.
Oh, that's deep.
Like the feeling of a home might be different. I don't know. I don't have kids.
That is true.
Well, what's home for you?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a hard answer.
I don't know, 'cause, I
question
mean,
to
you're like
answer.
you strike me as a real simple guy. So like, warm, comfortable place. You got your stuff. You're good.
Yeah, like the right temperature. I can cook.
Yeah.
Some bourbon. Place to sit down and work.
Huh.
That's pretty much it.
Simple things. Yeah. See, he's a simple man. And a shower. Because I asked him if he'd be a mobile home kind of guy, but he's like, "No, I need a full shower."
My problem is I don't fit in mobile home showers.
Yeah.
You just get the one that attaches outside. You unlock the box, get a shower curtain around.
You know
You
how
don't have to worry
uncomfortable,
about
it.
you know
Oh, yeah.
how uncomfortable that is? Come on.
What?
That's good for a couple
Outside
days
shower?
of camping. Yeah, a good day's camping. After that, no.
Listen, I'm not talking about
I'm with
showering with
Lane.
like a water hose. They actually make a heating setup for the
I-
outside now.
Listen, after big hikes like the one I did a few days ago, there's not much better than getting home and jumping in the shower and washing grime off. Because when you've been out for 15 miles,
See, and I had that when I was in the Army from like being out in the field 14 days, not showering, caked in sweat and your own filth.
yeah.
Yeah, having a shower after that was great. Casey?
What makes a home a home? Oh, man.
It's a tough question. Like,
I mean,
when you actually sit down and think about it,
I guess for me, it's just, having a place to go that's like my own space, which I like. I like having my own space.
which is why you said your garage to me.
Well, yeah, because that's your own space, right? Like that's
Not really.
Well, now it's got all your stuff in it.
It's not
But
even my stuff.
when all your stuff wasn't in there, right? Like that was kind of your space.
Yeah, I could do projects. I
Yeah.
could sit in there, have a cigar. I could still sit in there and have a cigar. I just can't do projects because I can't get to any of my tools.
See, you've hindered your own home.
Probably.
You've burdened your home with junk.
That's why I keep thinking about getting one of those tough sheds and just moving everything in there and having the garage space back.
There, see, might make you feel better.
I would listen. That works for a while, having come from a family where there was a shed. But you have to have. It's like going on a diet, right?
No, I throw stuff
You
all
also
away.
have to change your lifestyle to support the open space.
Pool table, whiskey bar,
There you go.
All these things I can get behind.
podcast setup in there.
There we go. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then when we're bored,
There you go. We just go on. Live from Kevin's garage.
Except Casey won't play pool with me.
Yeah,
when you were a shark,
I'll
no.
play pool with you. I just know that you're a shark.
I'm not
and
a pool
that
shark.
Your skills would be better used earning us money at the local pool hall.
I'm not a pool shark.
That's why I stopped playing against my mom because she used to go to the bars regularly, learn from all the fly boys on how to play pool, and she was a shark, and she still can be.
Yeah, no, Lane's a shark.
No, I'm not that good at pool.
Yeah, see, that's what sharks
He
say.
like looks at it and he's like, the mathematical trajectory of this ball, if I hit it here, get it off that
He's
bank.
like, I'm not good at pool. What's this game of pool you call? Is it like billiards them UK boys play? He's like, what do you set them up or something? Is there a particular order? And people are like, oh, this guy's a sucker. We got him. And then all of a sudden he's like, crack, 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 crack. Must be beginner's luck. You guys want to play again for $100?
First of all, that's not how you sandbag. You have to load it. So you front load, you lose money.
Oh, please.
And front load the first 3 or 4 games.
Oh.
And then they get cocky and bet big, and that's when you sandbag them.
See, and that's a
So-
pool shark that knows how to do it.
So you just
I
happen
understand the
you just
process.
happen to know exactly how it's done. Yeah. Wow.
Look, no, can't defend it. He's just too laughing too much.
Way to go, counselor. That was a really good defense you got there.
I mean, if you're going to sandbag right.
Yeah. Oh.
You don't show off the first 3 games. You don't show off on the first 3 holes of the golf course.
Oh, the other place you are also a shark.
Correct.
Listen, they're legitimately I could shark people.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know this.
We can see the fin from here.
We just watched the look on their face at the beginning of the round when you hit that. What'd you hit?
Yeah, you even have the
7.
shark like smile going right now. You're like, well, I don't shark at all.
Nah, you ain't got no proof.
Every time you walk into the freaking room,
This is all lies and propaganda.
dun, 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 dun.
I do. I don't play for money on the golf course, really. But I do enjoy that on the golf course when you're playing with someone who's spectacular and knows it. And, like, wow, I'm going to play the tips, but you feel free to play up there. No, that's all right. I'll play back here with you. Don't worry about it. They're like, wow, this course pretty long from here. Yeah, that's okay. I'll manage. And then they, hit one.
They kill themselves, hit their driver a whole 280, and you're like, oh, that's pretty far there. And then you step up and you're like, just whoosh.
That's not, my line is not usually that. Usually my line off the tee, because I'm not trying to be facetious. There are lines like, nothing wrong with that drive. I say that a lot. Nothing wrong with that ball.
And then he steps up
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
hits the satellite. And they're
I
like,
like
"What
how you
the-"
pre-episode demoralization with, it's not bad. Yeah, you know what? That's perfectly playable. You, my friend, I think you made the fairway there. That's a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot.
Listen, what people will tell you about me in any sports situation, I am a terrible loser and an incredibly boring winner.
These are facts.
Like, I win a hole, and I just walk on to the next hole.
Yeah.
If I lose a hole,
Yeah.
I become a little
Angry.
intense.
But
Well,
intense, like
Like, you don't want to be in the same golf cart as him.
It's
Like
not like
Happy
it's
Gilmore?
not like I'm yelling at people.
the Happy Gilmore
No.
intense.
No, he's
no,
he's-
no, no. It's not.
he's
It's not
in-
like
internally beating himself
there's no
up.
histrionics. I get quiet.
Yeah.
And I get a little severe.
But
the
not
stern
towards
lane.
not towards anyone else. It's just
No, no,
himself.
it's completely internally
100%
directed.
internal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like a switch gets hit, and all of a sudden he's just like going 10 rounds with himself in his head. And then you're just waiting to see who wins.
And you feel the tension
And
on the
then-
course, and you're like,
Yeah.
"What the hell just happened?" And you look over, and you're
Yeah,
like, "Oh!"
and you're just like, okay, he's still there. And then all of a sudden, it's like a hole later, ding ding. He's like, all right, fuck this shit, let's go play and have fun. And you're like, what just happened? That was
Eventually, that person wins.
that was the most uncomfortable car ride I've ever had in my life. and then
Casey
and then
speaking from experience.
And then
I know
he's
he
just
is.
like, he's like, oh no, we're good to go.
But what was it, about a hole and a half?
Yeah, it was like you. Oh gosh, like you like sliced something, hit a tree, and then I feel like Matt said something that didn't help, and then it was just like, and I was like, okay, you're gonna rip the steering wheel off, or and you're also driving your normal like go kart because you just feel like there's two speeds in a.
There
in a
are
golf
only
cart.
two speeds in a golf
Yeah,
cart.
Stop and go.
Yes.
So he's just flooring it. I can't jump out at this point. Clearly, I was an Amber Alert situation while him and his demons were having an argument at the wheel, and I'm just like, help! I've been kidnapped. And then all of a sudden we stop, and he like gets up. He's like, you got a cigar? I'm gonna light a cigar. And I was like, yeah, I could smoke a whole pack of cigarettes right now. I don't know where we are. I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, I'm good. I got the shakes going. He's like, it's a good day. It's nice and sunny out here.
My only question for you
a
is
good
like,
day.
as you're going through all that and you're already in your head, what's the back and forth you're having? Are you trying to figure out what you did wrong
No,
or
it's-
what
it's-
happened?
I can tell you, it's legitimately like 10 things at once. It's like, how did I slice that? Was I over on the front? Did I hit the big ball before the little ball? Did I overhit? Did I do this? What the fuck's going on? What the fuck's wrong with me? What the fuck, Matt? and his
Yeah, no,
bullshit.
that's what I'm evaluating my entire swing at
Yeah.
that point.
That's what I'm thinking.
And then-
is you're
and then-
evaluating.
And I'm also thinking about the people around me who said stupid shit.
Yeah, and then the fucking tin cup hits, and he's like, "Fuck it, let's just grip it, and rip it, and have a good time."
Yeah.
It's a weird process to see in real life, but it's amazing. You're just like,
There are
"Holy
only
shit."
two acceptable methods on how to hit a golf
I'm
ball.
pretty sure I'd make a comment that would piss you off even more.
No, see,
And
'cause
I wouldn't mean to.
no, it's because you're not that good.
Exactly. I know this.
See, any comment you make at Lane makes him just go, you small human. It's someone who's shooting in the 60s that says some shit, and he goes, what the fuck did you just say to me? Yeah, it's one of those. And then what also brings Lane out of that is when somebody goes, hey, what are you hitting over there? And he
Yeah, that
goes-
always, listen.
and he's like, sandwich. They go, you got 250 yards with your fucking sandwich? They
I
just
don't-
go,
I
and
don't
they
hit a
fucking break their
sandwich
shit.
250.
Fucking, I've seen dudes just clobber the shit out of their bags after you tell them. Just completely demoralize a whole team of people we're playing against.
It was a 160 some odd yard hole. It's like 167 yards, and I hit a pitching wedge.
Yeah.
Did you land it?
It was a little uphill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I greened it.
Yeah, it was clean.
No wonder why they're pissed off.
No, it's because he makes it look easy, for one, and then it was a struggle for the other people. So they look at him and go, what? Did you like club up on that?
what club was that
what
for
was
you?
that? And he's like, it's my sandwich. And they're like, get the fuck out of here. Well, I paid for years of training, all these damn courses, the instructor who I overpaid. God damn this fucking sport.
Lane's like, I got bored one day and just started playing.
Yeah, Lane's like, I've just been doing this ever since I
Oh,
was
dude,
2.
you couldn't keep. I didn't get to play much as a kid. I didn't really get to play until college.
Well, yeah, because your high school didn't want you to.
Right.
But if there were golf clubs available for me to pick up, I picked them up from the time that I was like 5.
Yeah.
Like my dad had to hide his golf clubs. I wanted to play golf club. I wanted to play golf over football. I just enjoy the shit out of it.
And I'm pretty sure it's like a relaxing thing for you until you fuck it off and then you just go into your own head, right?
Yeah, but I usually get through that pretty fast.
Again, that process is only for a hole. You have to realize it's like 4 swings, and then he either realizes what he's done, or he goes, okay, well,
Or I throw the scorecard out.
or I score the scorecard away, and this round doesn't matter. And then in his head, he's like, we're just here to have fun.
Yeah,
Because what are you guys doing? Why are you keeping score?
There's 2 types of golf, right? And in tournaments, it's different. But in tournaments, everyone's grinding, so it's easier because no one notices that I'm in my head. But in tournaments, you're grinding every shot anyway, right? But there's 2 types of golf. There's golf where you're playing for a number on the course, and most people don't do the second type. But there's golf where you're working on your swing on the course. And once you've decided you don't have it that day and you're working on your swing, it doesn't matter anymore because you can't work on your swing and also score well. It's literally impossible. So once you've decided, like, oh, today's just a fuck around day, like, I'm going to work on some stuff and figure out what's going on and try and find my swing. I literally stopped keeping score at that point.
That's how I played 99% of golf.
That's probably how I would play, but I've never played a hole.
Also, I usually only play scrambles because then I know it's fuck around golf.
Yeah, when I play with a bunch of people, too, that are like, oh, you've got to keep scoring every round. And I'm like, I really don't.
You'll keep score by how pissed you
Well,
are.
for first line goes, first of all, I'm a 2 handicap. I don't have to keep score for shit. Second of all,
Actually, right now, I'm a plus 0.7.
oh, my bad.
I have moved onto the other side of the 0.
Yeah, you are getting tacked on points.
That's a bad side, I'm guessing.
No, that's the good side.
That's the good
That
side.
means in a handicapped round, they're adding adding strokes to my score.
No.
That's how good he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to load him up to make it fair for every.
So you're about ready to go professional now, right?
Oh, I mean, those guys are so
We're just
fucking
waiting
good.
for May.
Those guys
Yeah,
are
but
so
they're
good.
going to
Just
see
waiting
you
for May.
launch from the start and just go, the fuck did you just hit?
I mean, I do have the one thing I have going for me is the guys on tour, and this is you could ask Casey, you could ask Adam, when the guys that bomb it on tour, like since Ernie Els had the easiest swing ever.
Yeah,
Look like they're swinging hard.
yeah.
For whatever reason, my swing looks really easy, and the ball just goes for fucking ever.
It's stupid.
Like
And they hate
it
you
looks
for that.
lazy.
Lane's easy swing and distance caused somebody we know to get back surgery.
Who was a
So-
professional hockey player?
Yeah, so that he could swing better on the golf course.
Has he gotten better?
I'm told he's gotten better.
Yes, he has gotten better, but we've yet to see the
Rematch?
between the 2 titans.
I think it really came to a head on 13, where it was the long drive hole, and he hit one. He thought he had it.
Yeah,
Legitimately thought it, and it was a good drive.
it was pretty.
He thought he had it.
It was pretty.
And I stepped up with like the easiest swing ever and bombed one like 385.
Was that with your hybrid or your driver?
No, it was
a
a
driver.
Yeah, NORAD had to be alerted that we were launching missiles in the area.
Yeah, and I knew as soon as it left the club.
Like North Korea called and was like, "What is going on?"
Hey, you just turned around and said, that's a beautiful shot. I don't even need to watch it.
I don't remember. Neil had a comment. I don't remember what it was.
I believe there was a comment thrown his way like, that looked pretty good. And it was like, because Neil was smug and thought, oh, I'm still ahead of this guy, even though that was pretty far. And then we drove up and it was like, all right, Neil, there's your ball. He's like, oh, where's your ball? And you're like, it's like, yeah.
Over there.
Well, over there, about
Yeah, I
30,
pointed-
40
I go,
yards.
"It's up there."
It's up there. And it was like, instantaneously, he was like calling the doctor for surgery. He was like, this motherfucker right here.
I mean, it's like a 460-yard hole, and we were like 82 yards out or
Yeah,
something.
you fucking slayed that. Didn't you win the longest drive?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where he's like, nope.
So in that same tournament was a girl who was competing in women's long drive at the time. I knew her; she was a friend of mine, and she told me later because her mom was playing with her, and she bombed one out there, and her mom gets up there and she's like, "Where's the long drive placard?" And the girl that I knew goes, "Up there." And she goes, and it was like 55 yards up. And her mom, first words out of her mom's mouth, "There's no way. Someone's lying about that." And I saw her before I started. Like I saw her when we were all getting like breakfast and stuff. And she looks at her mom and goes, "Well, there's one guy out here." She goes, "As soon as I saw where it was, I knew it was your name on it."
Yeah. Distance. Stupid. Yeah.
I could still do it too.
No,
I hit one at Edgewood
it's-
that was 380
Yeah.
when I played out there with Jay.
Did you?
Yeah.
Just crushed 380.
Oh yeah, it was. I was 40 yards out on a par 4 at Edgewood, which is a real length course. They got up there and they're like, is this your first shot? I'm like, yeah. Have you seen me take a second?
I'm in the cart with you.
Don't worry, I got this pitching wedge.
When did I get out and drop one?
Oh, it was worse than that, too, because I was short-sighted behind a bunker. And I hit this ridiculous 40-yard flop shot that just went miles up in the air and came down and just sat on its spot in the green. And they're like, what are you even doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having fun.
Why are we playing with this guy?
That was the round where I hurt my elbow.
Oh.
And then the next day we went and played. They played 2 rounds. I couldn't make the second round. I could barely swing the first round. And then I've got all these guys who are like, oh, try this piece of equipment, wraps around your elbow, and like, you should get that checked out. And, you should go to the doctor. And I'm like, it'll be fine.
I know
They're
what
like,
it is.
oh, I don't know. I think you probably separated something. And a week later, I was golfing again. And they're like, how's it feel? I'm like, don't even know it's there. I'm like, really? Yeah.
I mean, you know your body well enough to know if you've actually hurt something.
Oh, yeah. Dude, once you've spent as many years in the gym as I have, like, you know what a real injury is
Yeah.
versus something that's going to be gone in a few days.
So you just rub in a little WD-40 or...
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it feels just like new.
No, but I do love, on the golf course, the one thing I've always been able to do is just absolutely crush the ball. Like, I was 12, and at 12, I could hit the ball 320.
And your coach didn't even notice.
They wouldn't let me try it for the team.
Exactly.
In
Yeah,
high
no,
school.
remember his coach was like, no, I need you on the O-line.
You just look at him and say, hey, just give me a second. Let me hit this. I want to
Dude.
show you something.
I didn't do that. It felt so good because he wouldn't let me try it. Well, first of all, he was one of the football coaches, and golf was the same time as spring conditioning.
Yes.
And I didn't really want to play football. I didn't have like that thing that people have for football. Like it wasn't bad. It was something to do.
Was this before or after you hurt your knee?
Before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is before.
Okay.
This is the spring of my sophomore year
Oh,
when I
okay.
went to try out for golf
Gotcha.
because I just didn't have the heart for football. Like
Yeah.
it just wasn't my thing.
That's fair.
But he looked at me and I was gigantic, right?
Well, yeah.
And he's like, "What are you doing here? Get back to football practice." Okay.
You just said, okay. You didn't say, give me a second. Let me show
Yeah,
you
I mean,
something.
dude, I still had wood clubs like wood drivers at that time.
I know. You
Like I
could've
didn't
showed him
fit
up
in with
wood
all the
clubs.
rich kids that were playing golf. Like,
Well, hey, those,
so I was already like self-conscious about it.
Of course.
those are classics.
I broke them,
Oh.
I
but
believe.
not on purpose. I shattered both heads on the driving range.
Well, yeah,
That
because
doesn't
the way
surprise
you
me.
hit.
Yeah.
That's,
In fact, I shattered them in successive swings.
oh. Ouch.
Anyway, they're probably a little dried out. So
Fair.
Nah, you didn't oil them.
same coach years later. Like I've gone to college and come back. I'm bartending at night, marshalling on this course, so I get all the free golf balls in the range that I want. So I'm out there all the time, and I'm just out there banging balls on the range. And this particular range stops short. Like it's like 320 to the reeds on the back end, and I'm just parking balls into the reeds. Like they're not staying on the range. They're not even landing on the range. And I didn't realize it, but he was behind me. And I'm done with the driver. I go to put it away. I usually finish off. I save like the last 15 balls for like half shots with my wedges to try and work on distances. So I put the driver away and I'm pulling out one of my wedges. And coach goes, Hagen. I go, hey, coach, what's going on? He looks at me and goes, you always been able to hit the ball like that? I go, yep. And he just hangs his head. Fuck. Yeah.
Son of a bitch. We could have got him a state. We
Could have had this. You said no. You wanted me on football.
I could have had him for 4 years with championships. This is bullshit.
But I don't have the prettiest swing. It looks lazy, but it's not like a golf pro looks at it and is like, well, we should do this and this and that and this and the other thing. But then they watched me. The last time it happened was years ago, probably 20 years ago. And I'm banging 7 irons to like 215. And he didn't actually see me hit the ball yet. Like, he watched my swing from a distance, but he wasn't watching where they were going or whatever. I don't know, because he hadn't seen me hit. But he had seen, like, my practice swings or something. And he's like, well, I'd really like it if you... I'm like, all right, well, I don't really... He's like, well, let me see you hit a ball. And I banged 5 or 6, 7 irons out there to, like, 215, 220, a little baby draw on him. And he goes, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I can't do that. And just walks off. Yeah.
It may look like a lazy swing, but it's comfortable for you, and you can get distance, so it shouldn't matter.
I get distance.
Yeah.
I get spin. My irons stop. Like, whatever distance I hit it to, that's pretty much where it stops. It'll bounce about 3 feet, 4 feet, and then pull back about 6 feet. Usually ends up about 2 feet behind my mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every iron I hit for
Yeah.
the most part. Yeah.
That sounds
Which
about
is
right.
what you want, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You want to know you want to know the distance. And you don't want to know like, oh, is it going 155? There are clubs on my bet, like my pitching wedge. I play it to 157. That's the number. I can hit it further, I can hit it shorter. But my swing with my pitching wedge, if I'm just making a standard swing,
Consistently.
is 157.
Wow.
So I can be at a hole and be like, it's 162. Do I want to step on my pitching wedge or do I want to pull back a 9-iron a little bit? Right? So you know exactly, like within a yard. Some of the pros probably know to the half yard.
Well, yeah, but that's also because, they have a bajillion rounds on the fucking range, and they have a dude marking every single one.
And they're banging in the off season. They're banging 3,000-4,000 balls a week.
Yeah.
And you only get summers because winter covers everything.
Yeah, even in the best winter here, I lose about 6 weeks.
Yeah. Because it just gets too cold.
Yeah, you can go play. Even if there's no snow in the valley, there's about 6 weeks where it's chilly.
Yeah.
That, and he's a mountain child, so he has to get that mountain itch out of the way.
Yeah.
Click on the snowboard.
Yeah, and then there's the days where I'm like, I could golf in the valley. Or
I can go shred it.
You can't really do the California triathlon from here, can you? It's a little tricky.
with surfing.
Well, yeah, because it's golf. Is it golf in the morning, snowboard by lunch, surf by the evening?
No, usually it's snowboard then golf.
Is it okay? So snowboard in the morning, golf, and then surf.
Yeah, you have to be in LA to
Yeah.
do that for the most part.
Is it just LA for the triathlon of California?
Yeah, because if you're in the right, it's actually south of LA, like San Diego almost. Because there's a couple mountains on man-made snow you can get to the beach like an hour 20.
Can you surf?
I've never surfed.
Oh.
I moved away from the beach before before my parents were comfortable with me surfing.
Ah, fair enough.
We lived up
mean,
here.
It's a balance thing, right? Surfing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
'cause you're not
think.
strapped
I
in.
feel like
really.
I feel like it's easy.
I mean, I can snowboard and I can skate. I could probably figure out surfing.
I think surfing would be pretty easy.
I've just never done it. It's one of those things. It's like a lot of sports. You pick it up when you're, 10 or 11.
Fair. Have you thought about trying it?
No, I mean the water.
There's
The water in
sharks
the water in slow right into undergrad is still pretty cold.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's still like wetsuit territory.
it's still the Pacific.
And I wasn't about to go get a wetsuit and figure it out.
I feel like if you were gonna do the
I think you figure it out as soon as you
Like
get on
if
the
I was in
board.
Hawaii, I'd probably try surfing, where the water's 80.
yeah,
Sure.
that's fair, and nice,
Yeah,
and not so shark infested.
yeah. I mean,
No
also where I did undergrad is in the middle, like the very southern tip of the Red Triangle.
Yeah, the Crimson Triangle or whatever.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Which
Like every couple years, there's a girl, usually a girl. I don't know why it's a girl, but it's every year I was there, it was a girl, taken off the rocks in Avila by a white.
yeah, that one girl they made the movie about.
I don't think that was,
Was that-
that wasn't there.
Oh, I thought that was.
Well, the whites have also started moving to different places as well.
Well, they move.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them, and typically
Yeah.
off of slow is where they breed.
Okay.
Yeah, the Crimson.
you
They
have
call
the
it the
babies
Crimson
out there.
Triangle for a reason.
Yeah,
Like it's legit, like more sharks than anything in that area.
and you'll see them as far south as like LA and Orange County, but you see a lot of them.
yeah,
That's why I don't like the ocean.
it's the ocean.
There's stuff in there bigger than me.
Did you see the
It'll eat me.
surfer video? The professional surfer in the middle of a competition. Shark, like you see the shark come out of the water and grab the back of his board
Oh, I did see that one.
and
Fuck that.
drag the board down. You don't, and he goes under, and you don't know if he's okay because there's waves in the way. And then you see him pop up on the pole board behind a jet ski. You're like, holy!
Yeah. Fuck that.
Like I swear you can see him like shaking, like ugh.
Yeah. There's two things in the ocean I don't fuck with. Okay. One you can see. usually from a fair bit away. The other one, not so much, kind of just surprises you, and that's the jellyfish.
I was about to say jellyfish
Yeah.
and sharks.
I don't fuck around with no jellyfish.
Well, they got those small ones too. What were those blue ones? The blue dragon looking ones?
The little tiny ones.
Yeah, the deadliest ones?
Yeah, no.
Is that a jellyfish?
It
Technically.
is qualified as jellyfish.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The little
Yeah.
cute looking one.
Yeah, that people pick up in their
Yeah, it
hands
It looks like a little mini
idiots.
dragon.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so cute. It's so tiny, and it'll kill you because it's a fucking murderer.
I don't think that one will actually kill you.
They all kill you.
Yeah.
They don't all kill you.
Yes, they do.
No.
That's one of
Yes,
the
they
that
do.
little one's one of the poisonous ones.
No, it's poisonous, but I don't think it'll kill you. It's not like a man of war.
I thought it was I thought it was the most poisonous one.
What does Kevin's cigar have
don't-
to do with anything?
I don't think so. I think the man of war is the deadliest jellyfish.
Well, don't they have the longest tentacles too? So they get wrapped up.
No. That's a different one.
That's like
That's an Australian jellyfish.
the
I don't know what that
long,
one's
stringy one.
called, but that one goes on forever. No, the man of war is not very big. The man of war you could fit in a fish tank. But it looks like a jellyfish. It's not like the little dragon looking guy. It
Yeah.
looks like a jellyfish. It's only about this big. About like that.
Yeah, dangerous.
Oh yeah, that one you're done.
Yeah.
Like Dunskies.
Fuck that.
But they were like when I was in Florida that summer, they had something happen and there were hundreds of dead jellyfish on the beach.
Good.
Good, but you don't want to step on them.
The only good jellyfish is a dead jellyfish.
See, and like the jellyfish don't bother me. The sharks do bother me, but the biggest thing is it's like if you go out in the ocean to a certain point, it's just you look down, it's darkness. You don't know what's there,
Darkness.
True.
and I think that's the biggest thing that
That's-
freaks me
that-
out is how vast it
No.
is. We don't know what's in it
Legit.
entirely.
That's why that aquarium in Crescent City is so awesome because it's in a barge. They sunk the barge, and it's like in the middle they built like a glass wall for it, so you get 360-degree view. And the guy basically was like telling me, he's like, "This is the ocean. We just filter the water so you can see what's in it." Basically. And it was like, oh, so all of this is out there in unfiltered dark water. And he goes, yeah.
Well, it's
He was so casual and cavalier about it. And I went, bro, that sturgeon is like 8 feet long. And you already told us that she's mean.
but that's the thing.
At least you can see it in
Can't
the
sturgeon get
aquarium.
up to like 20 feet?
You're only seeing
Dude.
so much of it, though. That's the thing. That's
Yeah.
only a portion of what the ocean has to offer, and there's sections
I
we
get
haven't
that.
even looked at.
Aren't there
Yeah.
also freshwater sturgeon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there was the ones in that dam in
In
Oregon.
Oregon, yeah.
And the dudes went down there and they were like, nope. We're not. No. They were like 25 feet. They were huge.
But don't they think we have some in this lake?
I'm pretty sure there's sturgeon in this lake. This lake is also dark and dangerous.
I wonder where.
I don't,
Very deep, dark down.
it goes 100 feet below Carson City. Take your pick.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
every
I-
time I drive to Carson, I look at the mountains and I go, holy shit, the
Yeah,
lake's
but
100
sturgeon
feet
don't
under
eat
that?
people.
See, and that's the thing that kind of freaks me out about lakes too. Some of them, like topaz, it's not that deep, but it's so murky.
The murky is what bugs me.
Yeah, and that's what
There is
bugs
that
me.
unsettling feeling.
Like,
Like-
growing up with mountain streams and rivers,
Yeah.
where you can see all the way to the bottom,
The clarity and
and then you
everything.
go to random country river and it's just brown, and you're like, I don't want to go in that.
I ain't putting my feet in there.
Well, the one that's crazy is that one in Japan. That crystal clear lake in Japan.
Yeah,
That's all snow runoff.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's just like, I mean, it's legitimately like you could stand on the top of it like over a boat and see all the way to the bottom, and it doesn't look deep,
yeah.
but it's like 100-something feet deep in certain parts where they take these pictures and you just go, wow, you can see all the way to the bottom. That's one of the ones that's also full of the not deadly jellyfish, but there's tons of them.
And they still hurt.
And no, they don't hurt. They don't have stingers.
Oh.
They're just these puffy little balls of live sea creature that just float around that you can see.
Can you eat those ones?
I don't care. That's, again, no. Jellyfish, bad. Murder thing. Puffer crustacean. No.
No.
Jellyfish, no. All right, that movie Sphere ruined it for me. That's why.
Sphere.
Yeah, you ever see that movie?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, with is it Dustin Hoffman and Samuel L. Jackson
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it, man.
and Queen Latifah.
Why did it ruin it for you?
Because they go to the bottom of the ocean, and the Queen Latifah chick, she's like, oh, we gotta go. Something happened to the generator, and you're like, oh, we're stuck at the bottom of the ocean, and the Navy's not come back, and they're like looking at the ship that's crashed under there, and then she's out there, and all of a sudden it's like one jellyfish, and then it's like 5 jellyfish, and then it's like 100 jellyfish that she's just surrounded by, and then they like find her and they bust open the suit. There's just jellyfish like in her throat, in the suit. She's all puffed up and swollen up from the stingers. And no, I'm good. I'm good off all that. I don't need any of that in my life. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think you'd swallow any of them unless you're
They
drowning.
forcibly drowned her with jellyfish. Okay, not doing it.
I don't think that's a thing.
It is. Well, it's a Hollywood thing. Hollywood ruined the ocean, especially with Jaws.
Nah.
Really, with Jaws.
Jaws was one of the biggest ones, yeah. Why you don't go in the ocean?
Exactly. It's not natural.
And Casey. is
We
out.
escaped that place for a reason.
Casey's
yes.
Yep.
I am dark.
God damn. Are we at an hour?
Darkness. Yeah,
Darkness is
we're
fading.
there.
All
We've
right.
met our time quota.
Well, since we failed to charge batteries appropriately,
And he still has it on him.
I say we call it.
Yeah? No,
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. This is equipment stoppage.
Yeah. Man-made equipment
I
stoppage.
think
What
we've
happened?
done pretty good today.
No,
Right?
that's good. Yeah,
No
I
real
was briefly though. You know what, Kevin, is I think that the home thing.
Yeah.
You know, the problem is I think is we all have an idea of home, like
Well, do you know what my
what the
dream
home.
was?
Yeah, see, like the dream home, and then when it's not the dream home, it's kind of weird, right? Like you don't know where exactly like what to do to get there.
It was the white picket fence thing.
Really?
When I was,
Really?
Like, I always wanted, like, a white picket fence, small house. You know, one of those.
Well, you have the small house. Do you want the white picket fence?
And I'm
I'll
thinking
come over
about
for a
building
weekend and help
picket
you build
fence
it. Yeah, I
at
mean,
this point.
Honestly, for me, it's holiday gatherings.
Holiday gatherings is a big one,
Like
too.
summer barbecues and holiday gatherings.
Well, the thing is, I've always been around family, and, like, in my own house, I'm around my kids and my wife. And even then, like, my work, I only have, like, a small time with my family.
Yeah.
But, like, it got to the point where I was going and visiting my mom and going to her house and seeing my grandma and all that, that for some reason it irritated my wife that I was over there so much. And I'm like,
Now, I mean,
it's family. You're supposed to be around your family.
for me, it's so like I grew up with my family, especially once we moved to Tahoe, because Tahoe's hard living. Both my parents worked. My dad worked 2 jobs most of the time. But there were always like these intermediate checkpoints. Like, every 6 to 8 weeks or so, there's some sort of holiday or random thing. And it was, those gatherings, like those checkpoints where everyone circles back together and,
Yeah.
bullshits and fights a little bit. And,
Yep.
has dinner, and whatever, drinks a beer. And then you start it all over again. But
Yeah.
it was those moments. I think that's what I miss the most.
That's fair. It's just that like that's what home is, right? Like everyone together.
Yeah.
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 No, I get that feeling when we all get together at Sean's,
Yeah.
and it's nice that we're all just together. Like it's cool. Like when I go see my grandma,
Yeah.
same feeling.
Yeah, because I was always around my grandma and my aunt because they lived right down the way. And, like, my mom would go to work, and I'd always be at my grandma's just hanging out, eating tortillas, a little bit of green chili on it, maybe some butter, making some tortilla eggs, throwing those in there for breakfast. And I think that's what I miss the most is being able to be around my grandma that much.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that anymore. She's in Reno, and I don't really drive out that way all that often.
Road trip.
And I keep telling myself that I need to go see her, but then I
You're
stay
not
up
talking
late.
about an immense distance.
Yeah,
It's not.
My grandma lives 6 hours away. Like it's a little harder. For
Yeah, I
me.
mean, listen,
Yeah.
for most of my life, my grandparents were across the country.
yeah,
It-
in
it's-
Ohio, right?
It's not
And
that
Oklahoma
far.
Yeah.
or Colorado, depending on when you were talking to
Like
me.
you guys are right. It's not that far,
Yeah.
but it's not as close as it used to be. It used to be like she was next door, or
Yeah.
like I was living in her house.
or
Yeah,
or a
yeah,
couple
that's-
blocks away or whatever.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it makes a big difference because I can't see her every day. I have to like make plans to drive out there, and like I surprise her sometimes, but like it's not like it used to be where I was there every day, and I think that's what bugs me the most.
Yeah, that's fair.
I hear you.
Like my mom's down the way, I can go there every day, but then I'm forced to work by my dad.
Yeah,
Gosh, I
it's
could do
not.
this.
It's not to relax. It's to work. Yeah.
All right. On that somber note,
Yeah.
if you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe.
Everyone makes it this far.
Do they?
I mean,
I hope so.
I don't know. Some people do.
I would like to think that people just put us on and listen. You know?
I mean, we can be entertaining at times.
Yeah.
Coming soon, hopefully, to Spotify
Yes. Hopefully soon we get that Spotify going.
and Apple
yeah.
Podcast.
Yes. After I figure out how to do the one, I'll figure out how to do the other.
And
All
if you-
right.
if
Should
you
be
guys have
easy.
time, just check out all the shorts. You'll see us there.
Shorts. Yes. Clips. Reviews. More shorts, clips, reviews, or just the regular show.
Yeah.
We got what, 60 of these videos out now?
Hey, if we get to
Yeah.
enough subscribers, we can start doing this one live.
Ooh,
That's right.
What?
It's in the middle of the night, but whatever.
Eh, who cares?
I mean, there's people awake on somewhere.
Well,
People
I
watching
mean,
in Japan.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's any fans we have left. Things. Somebody-
Kenichi, come on, subscribe. Come see us.
All right. Thanks for watching.